NBA scouts have a way of telling young players exactly who they're allowed to be. Not with words, but with labels. Glue guy, connector, elite role player, perfect fit next to a real star. And for Kon Knueppel, those labels felt permanent the second people started watching him at Duke. Because he wasn't the loudest guy on the floor. He wasn't an explosive athlete. His highlight tape wasn't popping like other top prospects in his class. He wasn't locking stars down. He wasn't taking 30 shots a game. He wasn't throwing anybody on a poster, you feel me? But he played like something different. Like a guy who already cracked the NBA code without playing a single pro minute. Quick decisions, clean reads, perfect timing, efficiency, shooting threat, spacing. Kon was elite at everything that actually wins games at Duke. With him on the floor, the Blue Devils ran the best offense in the entire ACC, a 133 offensive rating. And yeah, that includes Cooper Flack, who only clocked a 126. Now here's the crazy part. People saw all of that and still completely missed it. Because this NBA version of Kon Knueppel was never supposed to exist, not this fast. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected him to be the turning point of a broken franchise on day one. This is not the same Kon we watched at Duke. This NBA Kon, he looks like a future star. And to understand what happened and how Kon destroyed every single scouting report out there, we got to go back to where this story started. When Kon Knueppel committed to Duke in September 2023, it made some headlines. He wasn't some random kid from nowhere. He was locked in as a top 50, even top 25 prospect in his class. But real talk, he wasn't even supposed to be number 2 at Duke, because Isaiah Evans was that guy. So at Duke, the plan was clear. The hierarchy was set. Cooper Flag was the headline. The whole system ran through him. The hype followed him everywhere, and honestly, it was deserved. Coop was absolutely cooking the USA Olympic team that summer before his freshman year. But in that environment, Kon became the perfect second piece. Not the headline guy, that was Cooper. Not the guy getting the media going after every game. But believe me, Kon Knueppel became the guy you trust, the guy who makes the right play every single time, the guy who keeps the offense clean when everything starts falling apart. How? Not just by spacing the floor. He did it by punishing every defensive mistake he saw. See, in basketball, there are two kinds of players. The ones who create advantages, who force defensive mistakes, and the ones who punish those mistakes, who make the right read every time and find the open advantage. At Duke, Kon was that second type. He never forced the issue. But because he didn't force it, people assumed he couldn't. And that right there, that's the trap. Basketball fans have this bad habit of thinking if you're not demanding the ball, you don't deserve it. At Duke, Kon didn't need to be the first option to help build the best offense in the entire ACC. But that never meant he couldn't become that guy. While everyone else was writing his story for him, Kon already knew. He just had to wait for his moment. Here's what really matters though. Some players are built to dominate college basketball. They live off chaos, off pure athleticism, off being stronger, faster, longer than everyone else on the floor. We see it every single college season. These guys can jack up bad shots and survive because the talent gap is just massive. They feast on college defenses running zones where their length becomes a cheat code. But the NBA is completely different. I love how JJ broke this down. If you're in the NBA, you are a 99th percentile athlete on the entire planet. Compared to regular people, you are a superhuman. You don't even look like the same species. In the NBA, everyone, and yes, everyone includes Pat Spencer, is a top-tier athlete. Everybody is fast, everybody is strong, and this game will punish your mistakes immediately if you are not built the right way. Bottom line, what actually translates to the NBA isn't the chaos these college-dominant players create. What translates at the NBA level is the clarity you can provide. The game is changing right in front of us. The NBA is starting to demand elite IQ over elite athleticism, but college basketball is not keeping up. It doesn't matter if you're gifted with an enormous wingspan if you can't figure out when to help on defense. It doesn't matter if you can jump out of the gym if you can't kick it out when you're driving. And that is exactly where Kon Knueppel has always been different. He doesn't make winning plays by running faster or jumping higher than you. He makes winning plays by arriving early, by beating you to the spot, by finding the best angles to attack. He plays 4D chess on every single possession to outsmart his matchup. And man, he is scary good at it. But that's also exactly why, ironically, his game almost looked too calm for college. Because while most college coaches reward aggression and intensity, NBA coaches reward precision and great execution, especially if you want to be more than just a role player. That's what people missed watching him at Duke. They measured him by what he wasn't instead of what he already was. And speaking of just how good Kon Knueppel has been, I was completely locked in watching the Hornets take on the Rockets the other night.
Now, fast forward to Charlotte. The Hornets had been a complete mess for years. They hadn't won a single playoff series since 2002. Let that sink in. Michael Jordan sold the team, and the new management was desperately searching for any sign of life in a dead franchise. But good news, they might not have to search anymore. Kon Knueppel was still being called a connector, a glue guy, before his NBA debut. But then the season kicks off, and suddenly Knueppel isn't standing next to a clear number one every single night. Suddenly, there are games where the offense needs somebody to come in and settle everything down. And Kon, he takes full advantage of exactly that, playing elite basketball with unprecedented consistency for a rookie. See, the moment Charles Lee starts handing him real responsibility, Knueppel starts making every possession feel easy. And let me tell you something, that is the most dangerous kind of player in this entire league. Because when a guy makes the game look simple, you don't even notice him until it is already too late. And in today's modern NBA, that is extremely rare for a 20-year-old kid. This is exactly where the Duke narrative starts to fall apart, because being a second option in college can mean two completely different things. Maybe you're unable to run an offense, unable to carry a team competing against elite D1 athletes. A lot of kids feel that heat the moment they stop being the biggest fish in the pond after dominating all through high school. Or maybe, just maybe, the team simply didn't need you to. When you're sharing the floor with a potential generational talent, you have to step aside. You have to let him cook, because that's what he's destined to do. And don't get me wrong, that was absolutely the right call. Duke was an unstoppable team last season all the way until the semifinals, and Cooper is already proving his worth over in Dallas, putting together an incredible rookie season of his own. But maybe, and only maybe, if Kon Knueppel had been the first option on a top-tier D1 program, the entire draft conversation would have looked completely different. Because Kon Knueppel does not look like an NBA rookie, and that right there is the core of this whole story. His game isn't built on rookie mistakes. He already looks coached. He already looks like a seasoned NBA vet with years of experience, maintaining elite efficiency and elite decision-making night after night. And the stats? Man, his stats are absolutely insane. Kon currently ranks third on the entire Hornets roster in EPM, one of the most precise and respected metrics in the whole analytics world, a stat that almost never, and I mean never, treats rookies kindly. Yet here he is, ranking ahead of established stars like Jaylen Brown and Alperen Sengun. Not only that, but the two players ahead of him on the Hornets roster, LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, have both missed a big chunk of games this season. But nothing moves the needle more than winning. The Hornets are finally looking like a real playoff team since January. They went on a 9-game winning streak before the All-Star break, and now they are pushing hard for one of those play-in spots in the Eastern Conference. Their core is still incredibly young, and it is only going to get better as these guys build more chemistry together. But the reality is crystal clear. The biggest difference between last year's Hornets and this year's Hornets is Kon Knueppel, the guy who got drafted and instantly made everything click for a franchise that was absolutely desperate for someone exactly like him. In the end, I don't blame the scouts. I really don't, because the word potential gets confused with raw athleticism way too often in this league. People think you can't be a star at the next level if you can't blow by defenders, finish at the rim like a monster, or physically dominate your matchup on defense. That thinking has been the default for years, but that is not the reality anymore. The game has changed, people. We have seen superstars prove this over and over again. Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic are the perfect examples. Scouting reports said the exact same thing about both of them back in the day, said they weren't athletic enough, said they wouldn't translate, said they couldn't be that guy. And look at them now. Kon Knueppel falls right into that same category. His athleticism might not be top tier, but so many other parts of his game absolutely are. His decision-making is elite, his scoring ability is elite, his playmaking is elite, and those are the kinds of qualities you simply cannot replace on an NBA roster no matter how hard you try. That is exactly why this is not the same Kon Knueppel we watched at Duke. Duke's Knueppel was impacting games without ever taking the most important role, without ever fully showing what he was truly capable of. He was only leading the offense when Cooper sat on the bench, but now, as a first option, as the guy, he has shown everyone exactly why he is already a monster in this league. So I have to ask you this, do you believe in Kon Knueppel as much as I do? Do you think he becomes that perennial all-star who rewrites the entire Charlotte Hornets history? Or have you seen something in his game that makes these expectations feel impossible? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. And if you love deep dives into basketball stories like this one, the hype, the fallout, and the real truth behind it all, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single thing.